Turkey Day Regatta. I did this regatta 44 years ago. Sabbath. Today we'll be filming 29ers, about 11 of them. ABYC Long Beach. Open on the jib. More Cunningham, she has more Cunningham on. He's heeling a tiny bit more. He has more twist in his mane. She might be luffing at the top of her jib, so she's losing a little power if it is luffing at the top too much. It's okay for it to break up top a little. I don't know if you can see that from here. It's breaking up top. That'll reduce side force. This guy's looks more twisted on the mane. Flatter. Incorrect. Yeah, she is not twisted more than him. And they're doing good. They're just practicing to yield to windward, man. Barely. And you can do that when it's steady like this. You gotta be careful in gusts. You can just, wow. Flat water, she's been able to go higher than him. And they were right next to each other. Good. Boy. Oh boy. From there. Maddie and Zach and Olympia and Maribel. I think they just got 3rd and 6th at the Fall Regatta in San Francisco, St. Francis. A little wider. That much. The jib looks very similar to the other guys, so too much twist in the mane. So she's gonna have to hike a little here. It's about 8 knots. These guys are overpowered. Their jib is dramatically tighter, and they sail differently than everybody else. Much smaller team, and so they have to do things a little differently. But they just got 3rd at the Fall Regatta St. Francis. Big Sunday day too, 12 to 19. They're just much tighter. Their mane's about the same as everybody else. These guys are twisted too much. You're losing side force. So try it. We'll check it out. Not a ton of current here. That's about 1.5 minutes. This is Jackie Gollison. I raced against him in 47s 35 years ago. Look at them. They're just sitting right by the start line, and they're just discussing everything they see. They're just sitting right here, practicing, drifting. See how they just sat. They're just learning the drift of the current, everything like that. So, yeah, there they go. They're just going over and over and over again. They're looking at which end they're thinking about starting at. Okay, here we go. There's all the 29er kids doing all their pre-race routine here. They're looking upwind. W2 is the shorter weather mark, which is it's lined up with that ship right over there. There's the buoys. Right there is W2. The Vipers are all just banging left. Most of those are local. So I think we're racing for right where that guy is, the second up from the left. I think we're racing to there before we do anything else. Starboard attack, close haul. Here goes the fin fleet. Looks like the starting line. In the 29ers, our big pre-race routine goal is at 1 minute to just absolutely kill it and make sure that we're trying to get starting anywhere on the line clean. We don't care which end. We just need to get clean. And then our exit strategy has to be outstanding. If we don't get a good start, we do have to make sure we're clearing out and only ducking the 1st or 2nd row, not ducking the 3rd row, and go for it. Race 1, Turkey Day Regatta 2023. These teams have been training together and in clinics and in regattas. Most of these kids will be doing Orange Bowl in a month and a half in Miami. And if you want to get good at 29ers, come to Southern California, because this is where we got a program going. High Performance Youth Sailing, HPYS San Diego. Dylan and Wyatt. Wills and Ronan, Olympia and Maribel. Good job by Brady to Ben here. Their jib's a little too loose, no problem. Okay, we're off. Julie, a nice exit. Braden, nice exit. We have very simple goals, pre-race routine, working on our team routines, you know, what we emphasize, and today the emphasis is on getting the jib right and getting the shape of the bottom and the main right with the bang alcohol combo and getting the bang right. And at 1 minute making that final decision on our setup. You can see she's much tighter on the jib, he's much looser. Oh, she just eased out a little bit. And then when it gets light, you do not lean back. If you lean back, you boost the stern. There's Sarah going fast right through there. She was fast before the race in the flat water. She was faster than 1413, Kevin. So Kevin's in a little bit of a pickle. Kevin's a low and fast boat, guys. He's right in the middle. Not too high, not too low. Downwind sea lion. Really nice. Ben Simpson, third at nationals this year. The crew. It bugs him when I talk about that. But anyway, do you see how the leaders right here, how they got to right where we were talking about? This is just a starboard tack close hold kind of situation. 2449 got forced over here to the right and she lost a long way. So I think it's just going to be our goal, at least for the next few races, is going to be to go on starboard. Look at that angle on that guy. There's about two over there, Dylan and Wyatt. Ramped up. Here's Wilson Road, a little lower and faster, just killing it. Right here by Ben and Braden, jib's too loose. So that will help. You're going to notice the jib is luffing at the top. And so they're losing power. Yeah, jib's luffing at the top a little too much. Main's a little too far out. So you should pull the main harder and get Braden on the rail. Losing trees to the boats on the other side big time. I think that's the Borellis there. They're going to come around in third, I think. Man, they are fast. Holy smoke screens. I mean, they had two bad lanes. Got out to the left. And just looking pretty darn good. Yeah, I'm here and I'm moving trees to them. They're pretty far ahead of me. These guys are right here, so I think they're a third, but not by one. Mark 1. Wills and Ronan second. Dylan and Wyatt first. Borelli's gonna come around here in third. Maddie and Zach in fourth. Braden and Ben in fifth. Step forward in the light spots, you guys. Got to get the bow down, stern out of the water. That looks really good. Yeah, they're light. Light, it's good to be light. Everybody's got their jibs out nicely. A little too much roll jibe on that thing. You don't need to roll jibe at all when the battens will pop. The only time we roll jibe or roll tack is when the battens will pop. We just keep the boat on its lines. bang too loose on that boat, so the main should come in. It's okay to have the bang really loose like that with that much twist. This looks better. This looks really good. This looks really good.
Okay, just so you're aware.
70% chance of rain today. Here's the Borelli girls. Uh-oh. Kevin and all those guys found it last. They had an incredible run. They didn't know where the weather mark was. They overstood the weather mark by like, I didn't even know, a minute. I think the Borellis are winning easily. They're winning. It's hard to judge. He looks lifted, doesn't he, on that fin? I'm losing trees big time to that guy on the left, so I could be wrong. We'll see what happens. I want to get more lead shape video here. Dylan and Wyatt still first. Girls and Ronan right there. I think the girls have them. So there's the top three, race one. Everybody's jibs in the top kind of all look the same except for the Borellis. The Borellis are an inch tighter than that on the jib. These guys are light too, so this is a massive comeback. I mean, these guys are in fourth, and they were, I believe they were last, so they're on 100%. They have to snap it. All the twists on the main were very similar. Zach and Maddie going now for like 2.5 months, 3-4 days a week, practicing a couple hours at a time. Their jib looks a slight bit tighter actually, which I like. I don't think you need the jib very loose. It's not choppy. He's having to play the main too much, so she's got to power up her mainsail some way so that she can, or depower her main a little so she can stay seated in. But it would be better if he could keep the main tighter and she could actually get on the rail. I think it's really important. Right as you're about to grab the main sheet as the skipper. Right as you're about to grab the main sheet, the jib goes out 1.5 inches. That helps the jib cross the boat easier. It comes out, it takes the pressure off the bow so you can make the boat turn up a little easier. But it also has an out of fraction for roundness after the tap. Your apparent wind drops, so now you have less wind. You need a fuller sail after. These guys are more bow out of the water because they're very light. Jib looks a little too far out, but about the same. The main looks pretty good. Main looks too far out. Okay. These guys are much tighter on the jib, so I'm gonna have to go loop. It looks pretty good to me. That's where I would have it, almost at the spreader tip. Too much twist in the jib. What we need to do is get these guys, tip the boat over on land and kind of trim the sails when the boat's on its side and look at it a little bit. Yeah, it's just too much twist. But I mean, that's better than the alternate, you know, if you got a kid who's over trimmed on everything. But yeah, the jib's got to come in. The leech of the main's got to come in. You can't, it's not reaching conditions at all. This is pointing conditions. Wow, this was impressive, dude. Look at these guys. They are almost last at the first mark, and now they're second. And they're pretty light, too. Got a lot of light, strong teams. Now, these guys are a little more bowed down. Well, who knows what's better, but they're just a little more bowed down, and that's fine. I hate dragging the stern until I'm overpowered during it. It's going to be interesting to hear what happened on the second beat. The wind must have died somewhere. Kevin was going left at the end. I'm wondering if left at the end was good again. That's what seems to be good. It's just windier over here. That's what I think. We'll find out. We'll ask what Giselle thinks. The I-14s actually are way less than a minute between the first place boat and the last place boat. the fleet is split going each way. So if you're in the 29er fleet, I think I'm going to, I can't tell. If starboard tack is way lifted out of that gate, then I should have gone to the left gate, the one on our left right now. These guys look a little bit headed on starboard coming out of the gate, so I think the right gate is further upwind, but I don't, it could be totally even. Down to 5 or 6 knots maybe. Okay, so we got second plate though. Here's Kevin and Holland. My God, they're just flying. Dude, here's first. These guys were so far ahead. And these guys, they're in the ballpark already. This is just awesome. What happened is they went behind the I-14 and jived, and there's just a huge vacuum. So they're about the same distance. They didn't gain more, but this is a race, dude. I think the left one, let's see. Yeah, I think the left one's way further upwind. You see how this guy's going parallel to the gates here? Just looks like it's lumping at the top first barely, which is what you want most of the time. Kind of do the best job of most of the crews. You know, with the skipper sitting in, he's doing a better job of controlling the heel than the other crews. In the light spots, the knuckle needs to go in the water just a little bit. Looks great. Race 1, they're in 5th place. Braden and Ben is 5th. Again, another light team. Got to move forward in the light spots, so anytime you're that far in, man, that was one of the big things we talked about. They're a pretty new team. I mean, we're talking 3 months together. One coming to the finish. I think it's tightened up a little. Not sure yet. Yeah, I think the Borellis are second. It's a tight one here. Yeah, you see how they're fighting it. The Borellis do a good job of not letting that leach out on the main. Fighting it. Yeah. These guys look all very similar. Wow, they passed back Kevin and Holland. Wow. This is going to be a long weekend. But of course we are. Did we pick W1 again? Yeah. The banks, Powerball, gypsies, main chiefs. The Borellis are trimming tighter than the blue. Oh, look at Kevin. This is so pretty obvious that you can tell that the blue flag is further downwind, so Kevin's got an advantage. She should be mean and just hold him out if she can, but no, boy, look at that. He's pinching her off. What a great race. Yeah, that's a loss, because definitely the blue flag is closer. So Kevin just goes right to the blue flag ley line and tack. Well, no, he just stays there. That was a great race. Near the committee boat here. The I-14s just went off and their heading looks exactly the same as the last race. We're racing to the right of that barge. That's where you're just trying to, the best teams are going to get to the right of that barge. Oh, they moved the weather mark way in. Excellent. Excellent. So I hope, you know, these are all the things. That's why you guys should all be upwind over here. Remember, the current's going down away from the pin. So keep yourself up current. You should be up here looking at this. We'll see if anybody notices. I'm not going to tell anybody. We're just going to see. They're being put to the test. The windward mark is much closer for race 2, so it'll be a shorter course. I don't think any of them really knew it. Less than a minute to go for race 2. And we made a lot of little refinements. We're looking at the shape in the bottom of the mains. Your Cunninghams and this stuff, underpowered conditions, Cunninghams are loose, so the bottom of the main's almost flapping. The Vang is probably on 2 inches from snug. to make it so the boom doesn't rise up. That holds the leach steady, so you don't. If your vang is off, the leach loses side force. There's Maddie defending a little. That's a good move right there. That's a good move. You got plenty of space here, so don't let anybody scoop you. Braden should drop back. He should go high and slow, and just drop back a fraction. Oh no, he's fine. There's Ronan, 19777. Somebody got an OCS in that. I'm worried it's the Borellis. They dropped the X flag. Wow. Race 2, first peak. We got Ben and Braden. The changes we made to them is don't let the main out quite as much and pull the jib in a fraction. They didn't change the jib at all. Main looks pretty much the same. That's all right. He's high, you know, he does need to get the shoulders out as much as easing the main. Oh my God, they're gonna round first, dude. Some of these guys, didn't know the mark was short. Who's that over there? Who's that over there? So again, we gotta pay attention, stay upwind. We gotta put that on our notes. We gotta stay upwind. That's why Ben and him are eased. We got to stay upwind of the start-finish line. Okay, this is going to be a great windward mark. Braden and Ben rounding first.
Yeah. 29er, round 72.
I mean, Ben will still do Sabbath Nationals next year. The Borellis here, 61, they'll do Sabbath Nationals. Dylan and Wyatt rounding second. Wyatt well-rounded overall. Skippers and crews. Great crew, great skipper. Borelli's coming around in third. They didn't know the mark had been short because it was Kevin around in fourth. That's the way you said it. Full power. He doesn't go down at all. This is the race for first. They still have a windward leeward leg to go. These guys are way ahead. Great job by Braden and Ben. These guys are 8th graders, I think. Look very similar. Both very light teams, tall crew. Looks like the Borelli's mainsail is a little tighter and a little flatter. And that's why they're the way right now. Race 2, last windward. The wind has gone right about 15, 12, and it's built to about 9. The Borelli's have an easy first right now. So they should be going off on the bank. Braden and Ben still an easy second. 70% chance of rain today. That means the front might pass early, and then tomorrow won't be as good as everybody thinks it's going to be. We got race 3 on Saturday.
First Viper to W1.
Copy, thank you.
Missy Amalgis that appears to be heading home. I don't know if you have that. I can't see his number.
Braden should drop back. Yeah, he should drop back.
Yeah,
the current is pushing him down.
But yes,
He made it in there last time. You just go high and slow, high and slow.
Patience, the first 14 just gated on
That's it, high and slow. So again, we made some changes to some people trying to get their jibs better, I think. Man, I got yelled at by a Viper bad. Yeah, full F word idiot. Yeah, I got it, good. I lost my concentration for a minute. Braden and Ben, dude. Classic. It works when the current's going down course. The boat opens up usually. These guys are a pretty big team, so they're liking this top 10 knots. You can see how much more rowing this main is compared to Kevin. Look at that. Race 3, first windward, it's pretty close. Dylan and Wyatt here.
First 29er on W2.
Braden and Ben, Julie and Wes. I think Julie and Wes were under trimming on their jib. Their jib was luffing at the top. They still not familiar with what braking at the top is. You guys got to figure that out. If the windward telltale on the top is going straight up and the windward telltale on the bottom is going straight back, then your jib sheet's too loose. Should be luffing up top pretty much in all conditions, a fraction, but I think the Borellis overstood by a lot. Here's Sean and Loki, a really new team. 2 months together, maybe. Race 3, first leeward, first, second, and third are kind of gone. Okay, and then you got a big pack right here. All close. Great transitional jibe. You see how she did that? It's light air. I don't know if you saw that, but did not rush the jibe and overspin it. She just slowly turned it, just like you normally do in a soaking light air roll jibe. So it got lighter before that jibe, and she was already in soak mode. So she just did a normal, long keep flow on the centerboard. Yeah, Ben. This one's going to be a little more of a real jibe. Still a little bit of a hesitation there. Oh, this is tight. Maddie and Zach fighting for fourth. Oh, they got him. Oh, this is just so good. Race 3. Oh, yeah. Maddie and Zach sailed the last race. They might have got last. I don't think they knew. It's really hard to remember all this stuff, but you do have to, when you're going upwind, you got to lean your head back. This is not a big tilt play.
Yes, but I don't think they're going to.
Oh, wow.
There's always be somebody aimed at it.
Oh, wow. I'm wondering if that was a foul. This is tight. Super good. Super good. Jibed, got the spinnaker down after the jibe. Jibed again, came right around. This is what we want, you guys. We want this super close racing. Beaches all look kind of similar. We're getting closer, everybody. Getting closer. They're just a country mile ahead over there. And if they, they're a little more bowed down consistently than everybody, like pressing and not pointing. And if they sail into a shift, man, they just lead people. If they sail into a lift, they don't gain that much. If they sail into a header, they gain a bunch. And that's what they've done this race. I mean, they are just at another planet. This is what the main looks like. Their main looks like right in the middle, kind of like the girls. These guys are lighter than the, I don't know, they're about the same as the girls. sailing the boat right on the wind. We do need to measure travelers. That's a lot of, he's right on the wind all the time. So he's just doing the patience thing. He's just staying right on the wind all the time and not working the boat too hard. Just right on the edge of the wind. Okay, I'm gonna check the catch his jibs in play. I think he's got the tightest jib of anybody. He had a 1 something and now he's 2. So I think his jib is gonna be tighter. Yep, see his jib is almost at the spreader tip. So he's got tons of side force. That makes him a little harder to steer. Pulls the bow down when you let the main out too much. You can see he's not allowed to let the main out too much. Because if he does, the bow just starts to turn down. Wow, these sails are flat too. So these guys are pretty light. You can see this jib further out, definitely than what we just saw. Yeah, these guys just have a bunch of power and they're just sailing really well. I mean, they're in 4th. There goes. Oh, no, they're in 3rd. Here the girls are in 4th. They're just a little tighter, main same. Maybe a little tighter, so they're eating those guys up slowly. And then here's Maddie. Zach, pretty good. Interesting. See if Old Pup comes in here. They're just shy of ley line over here. Ooh, Kevin, this is bottled up at this end. Kevin should just drop back and wait. Start 2nd row. Ben and Braden, dude. That was really the start of the day right there. That was really good. Kevin and Holland have enough speed. They don't have to worry. Good exit right there. I thought that was pretty good. Well, there you go. We got to measure travelers. Got to remember that. Okay. This jib, holy smoke screen. You see the whole top is like folding in. It's luffing so much. You know, but these guys are probably 3rd in the regatta. What, less than 3 months? See how much lower he's going? He could go tighter jib too. I don't understand why all these guys, we talked about it this morning, man. We cannot sail with the lead outside the spreader, like 4 inches away. I do suggest people go to the 29er website, read Julian Bethwaite's initial 29er tuning guide. When he wrote it right after he had developed the boats and he had sailed them quite a bit and people had sailed them, he developed a thing. He said number 1 thing people did is let the jib out and then the boat goes fast through the water, but it doesn't go towards the mark. So in underpowered conditions, like even right now, you're not letting the jib out. Side force. Wow, dude, looks like the right was okay maybe here. Anyway.